imminent peril of the tornado hitting Woodward, and at that time we alerted what we could, and we were sounding sirens. Within 3 minutes we had touchdown here. As you saw coming in the path of the tornado and how that devastated certain areas, we have determined that we have lost 89 homes, 13 businesses. Those are the ones that have been totally destroyed. That does not include any ancillary damage. We've already had some preliminary discussions with Mr. Ashwood on the help that the state will be bringing to us. We also experienced a great level of response from neighboring communities. We had nearly 250 emergency responders on the scene last night at different times, from as far away as Weatherford, Guymon. All areas came in from fire, EMS, and police squads. Matt Landauer, as our emergency management director, organized the method of teams searching and rescue. Obviously, it took a little bit of organization to get there, because as those responders were coming in, the roads, as you saw, as we passed by just now, this is a typical manner of approaching that area, was still blocked. So was the other parts of the area that they responded to. So I will defer a little bit to Matt as far as how that response was handled and some of the findings that we had, but obviously the most devastating part of that was the loss of life. We had 5 hurt, and we had 29 injured. We have here Red Cross representatives, we have here the hospital administrator to discuss with you their aspects of what all transpired last evening as well, because there were many heart-wrenching stories that go along with that.
Governor, we had complicated situations. We had plans in place to kind of deal with some of the situations already. Of course, the first thing is getting the roads cleared out so we can actually make access. We had automatic triggers on that, as well as getting help. As emergency managers, usually there's only one of us in each county. That makes it difficult for us when a disaster strikes. So we had automatic response triggers as well for the other emergency managers. My wife was actually the emergency manager in the county north of it, which for an interesting marriage relationship for sure. But she did come down and help us out, as well as Ellis County. We got help pretty quick. And as we've seen in some of the other large tornadic events, control is lost quickly, and it makes for a very difficult response. And that's something that Steve Palladino, that worked for the State Emergency Management Office, Albert Ashwood, and Mr. Carter with the Office of Homeland Security have helped us to do a lot of organization. Organization is not the fun part of public safety to a lot of our fire and police officers, but it really helps. It's helped in this situation. In fact, we by noon today, we had checked all areas that we needed to do search and rescue on 3 times. We did that 3 times just to make sure we didn't miss anybody. We didn't want a situation where we left anybody in the shelter or something like that. So we do want to pass on our thanks to the State Office of Emergency Management. I think they're the best in the state, and our Homeland Security Office for helping us kind of get the equipment and the training in place to do that. If we didn't have that, sincerely, I think we would have had a very chaotic situation, and we would have still been out there trying to find victims. We did have some situations with the warning systems, and with that, I think Oklahomans have become very dependent on outdoor warning sirens, storm sirens. They require electricity. The storm approached Woodward from the southwest and took out our main power grid and knocked the sirens off the air. We were able to get some of the sirens on for a few minutes, but that was it. And I think as Rick Smith, he's a warning coordination meteorologist for the Weather Service that's here, he's helping us do the evaluations on the storms and do the rating on that. he'd agree that the weather radios, we really want to push weather radios in every home. This would have definitely helped save lives. We do know the alerting systems that we've used here in the city of Boyd, we're very adamant about multiple types of warning systems. Because 65 years ago, we got hit hard. We lost 107 lives in the strongest tornado in the history of Oklahoma in 1947. So very adamant about that, but we want to emphasize that if we get anything out of this and learn anything out of this is don't rely 100% on those sirens. You know, have another way to get warm. Appreciate your time.
If I could ask Dave Wallace, the hospital administrator, to share some of the impact and the situations that they face with multiple victims and coming to the hospital immediately. I'd appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you for coming, Governor. We saw a tremendous amount of teamwork at the hospital. We were told about the disaster. We saw it happening and enacted our disaster plan, which we drilled over and over again, working with the community. We had a response of over 63 healthcare professionals, almost all of our active medical staff, nursing staff, respiratory therapy, x-ray. Everybody showed up and it went very, very smoothly. We had 29 people come through and several of them very critical. We stabilized, we admitted 6. We transferred 5 to a higher level of care. And in this case, we would usually go towards Oklahoma City. We had to go the other way with Amarillo and Lubbock. For me, it was just a great source of pride as it wound down in the wee hours of the morning to see the teamwork that had gathered to put these lives back together is really, really a source of pride. And we have people that are, of course, trained through the state disaster training, and that all has paid off for us.